Hello, it's Philip Taylor from Richmond Green Chambers speaking, and I'm looking at a book from Law Society Publishing. It's written by Gillian Howard. It's in a second edition. It's called Drafting Employment Contracts. It's that book there, sort of purplish cover. It's got a CD at the back for those of you interested, and for the purposes of this book it's very important to have that, because the book is very much about precedents. You can see all the precedents are set out in the various chapter headings, and at the back there are a whole range. There are 15 chapters altogether covering the various areas. An interesting preface to explain it all, and is very much in keeping with what we expect from Law Society publications. You've got obviously you've got the set precedents that are given, and for each of the chapters you've got the paragraph numbering so you can find it quite easily, and at the back you've got a detailed index. It's quite a heavy book. It's 500 odd pages long. My wife Elizabeth and I have written a review on Flickr and all the websites, the 60 odd websites that take reviews. And this is an interesting book because it saves us a lot of time as practitioners. I've seen a lot of stuff on the market, but this is probably one of the best ones for us in the busy practice, because it goes straight to what you want. Obviously you can go to the much more detailed stuff, or go to people like me as counsel if there's something intricate that you need, but you've got most of what you want here. And we've given it the title, And You Thought You Knew All About Employment Law, from Law Society Publishing, the definitive guide to employment contracts with accompanying CD-ROM. Employing others used to seem to be a relatively straightforward process. However, if you're a practitioner, your advice on employment matters will inevitably have far-reaching consequences, both for employers and employees hired. So acquiring this book for your practice reference library would therefore seem a sensible move in our view, and one we recommend. Logically set out and reassuringly detailed, this straightforward and clearly written handbook will help you confirm that you are indeed steering your clients in the right direction through the legal complexities and potential pitfalls of the hiring process, precedents of course being the key to this. Each section commences with an introduction and then deals with a different aspect of employment contracts, from making the offer to disciplinary and performance procedures to grievances, harassment, bullying and whistleblowing. The book functions admirably as a guide to those areas of employment law with which you may be less than familiar. Obviously that's the detail. For example, if you didn't perchance know what a Martini contract is, now you do. Anytime, any place, anywhere. This is a useful volume for employers and employees as well as practitioners, particularly if the aim is to avoid the dreaded prospect of the employment tribunal, that awful eventuality which often results from the opposing parties either misunderstanding or flouting the rules, or not knowing them at all. Since the first edition came out in 2004, there have been a number of new developments in employment law, particularly in the area of mediation, all of course included in this new second edition, which takes account of such legislative changes as the Equality Act, the Bribery Act and so on. There's a new chapter on redundancy and a consideration of new case law such as Cheltenham and Laird and Commerce Bank and Keene. The book also covers changes of policies and procedures with respect to compensation, benefits, grievances, disciplinary cases, harassment and mediation. And to conclude, therefore, we think the research tools, as you'd expect, include the table of cases, statutes and so on, plus the list of abbreviations, which is helpful, and any number of illustrative precedents. So if your job involves any aspect of employment law, then this new second edition is a real time saver, as I've said. For all of us who thought we knew most of what was to know about employment law, we certainly learnt a few things when we read this book. So thank you to all concerned. Bye bye.